And Angela, speaking of getting their message across, we hear another documentary is potentially on the cards.
Yes, we do, but I don't think they'll be getting their message across in this one because I don't think they're obliging and being helpful with this one. This is a German production company who is doing a documentary on their life, effectively post-Megxit. So they're going to be talking to people in Montecito, talking to people that the couple have worked with over the last few years. Now, this should be really interesting because we've heard a lot from Harry and Meghan, but we haven't heard about their new life. And the way they operate is really interesting. Tina Brown's seminal book called The Palace Papers took a really good deep dive into Meghan's life in Canada before she met Harry. So I think if these documentary writers, program makers are rigorous, we could get some really good details behind the scenes, the story that they're not prepared to tell us about how they interact with people, how the jam business is going, you know, what it's like being at school with their kids, that sort of thing, which I'd be fascinated to watch, frankly.
I think we all will be, frankly. Now, back to the family in the UK, and Princess Catherine continues her recovery. We aren't getting much detail, but people on the ground are still interested in how she's going. Now, William was asked about her health this week while he was in Cornwall. Here it is.
May I ask how Princess Kate is doing?
She's doing well, thank you.
Lovely, and the children as well.
The children are very jealous that I'm here, and they're not here as well.
Louise, thankfully, the spotlight largely has come off Catherine as she recovers. But what's the latest on her recovery and return that we know? And obviously, in the meantime, William and Camilla continue to carry on with all those official duties.
They are. They're sort of forging ahead, really. And as far as Catherine's health is concerned, I mean, really, it's what William says. She's doing well. They'll be very specific about the detail they release around her convalescence in order to give her that privacy that obviously she needs to get better and to get back onto the royal system, as it were, in a way. And of course, you know, William and Camilla have been out doing their royal duties, and the fact that William spent the night overnight in Cornwall, which is some 6 or 7 hours drive from London, would suggest that in fact Catherine is on the mend. The fact that he was happy to spend a night away from her and carry out his royal duties. He was down in Cornwall, he was visiting surf lifesavers, he was at the Isles of Scilly. He was playing volleyball on the beach, which was great to see. So, and of course, everyone was delighted to see him. Camilla, meantime, has been going around the country launching these coronation libraries, which is where a lot of books are donated to specific schools to encourage a love of reading amongst kids. And we know from her sort of literary sort of skills that she loves the ideas of books and book clubs, and she's got her own podcast, which is, you know, fantastically successful, unlike Meghan's, of course. So it was great to see her out there sort of spreading the power of reading and education to young children, taking the spotlight off Catherine so she can recover at home.
And Angela, it's great to see Charles back at public duties. He really seems to be enjoying himself, and he seems to be balancing things quite well.
Yeah, I tell you who won't be enjoying it is the person who keeps his diary, because what Charles is doing is he's suddenly going, I want to go to this thing. So he went to the School of Military Engineering. He gave them 8 days notice. Now, 8 days is nothing. He suddenly saw he had a gap in his diary. It was in Wiltshire, close to his home. And apparently he just sort of announced that he wanted to go along to see these people. They had to obviously get everything ready. I mean, they say, the royal family, that the smell that they know is the smell of fresh paint, because everywhere that they go, people have repainted. Well, you don't get a chance to repaint in 8 days. So I think the guy or the woman who's looking after Charles's diary will be having a hard time at the moment. He did say when he got there that he was very grateful to be let out of his cage. So, you know, it's only less than a year since the coronation. He actually wants to be king. He waited a long time for it. So he obviously wants to get back into the role that he's waited his whole life for.